I'm just gonna draw something I found. It's a bush with some berries. Maybe talk about some things. I hope it's getting this. My name is Eric, and I am an artist. Important I remind myself that, because I oftentimes forget to do things in a very particular way. Things tend to be harder for me in a lot of ways. I love to draw. But I get beat down quite a bit. And I just don't draw. Doesn't make any sense. Artists make art, right? But I'm hoping to get some accountability in my drawing practice. The bush with some berries on it kind of looks like maybe like hawthorn, but they don't have, it doesn't have any like pricklies. Any of the long stems, at least not the full ones. Um, I primarily worked with ink, and I love to draw with ink actually. This immediacy, quite nice. And it's very much difficult to correct mistakes. And so, because of that, there are no mistakes, you know? I want to get better at drawing landscapes. I can draw figures fairly well and portraits. I do have an interesting style, I know that. And sometimes, oftentimes, it is, I wonder if this will work. I did Oftentimes, it is difficult to draw these like outdoorsy things, even though I admire them. And that is because I get overwhelmed with information. So much. Right? You gotta have like a plan. Seems like you gotta have a plan. So procrastination, studying, more planning, and that kind of makes me stall out. So this is my attempt to just draw. You know, doing this will get better. Maybe. I know I will get better. Might end up posting these. I think that would be useful, again, for accountability's sake. But I can talk enough. Since no, I don't talk. I do talk way too much. Oftentimes about things that I really thought about, but in the moment I do a lot of thinking. Pretty sure this angle is terrible, but that's okay. I am an Ohio-based artist. That's what I'll say. I love Ohio's colors this time of year. Try and capture exceptional. Very good. Lots of bugs. Hopefully none to get to me. Ticks off or anything like that. Well, it's not my favorite. I do it though. Obviously, you don't want to have ticks on you for various reasons. Am I trying to capture the feeling of this more than like visual information? I feel like that's it, yes. Because to capture all this would be ludicrous, right? It'd be insane. I mean, I'm sure people can render these things out and get everything possibly can. Maybe it's all about recognizing pattern. Right now, these kind of go all over the place, but they're alternating, crisscrossy. There's a lot. Maybe I'll put in some shadows. That will help a little bit. My hair is absolutely unmanageable right now. Got little ideas of what's going on here. With drawing landscapes, from the research I've done, suggests that you should draw what's in front first and go back. What I'm attempting to do here. And these things are really all over the place. Berries on this tree kind of seem a little bit like the towards the end of their life. Urge to abandon this and focus on something smaller is pretty high. What am I even doing right now? This is my day off. I don't get many of those. I'm a chef by trade right now, and does it as a compromise with creativity. Chefs make pretty plates, right? If for that ship has sailed, and now I just make food, which is fine. People need to eat. People need to eat. I work in kind of like a commissary style kitchen where I produce lots of small plates for students at the college level. And not my favorite, but what I have. I'm thankful for that. It does afford me the ability to take care of my family, kids. Oh man, this is difficult. This is pretty hard for me. Just trying to get all this information. Like I said, I've got these round berries that are very red. And notice that some of them have these little well, most of them, I'd say, have these little almost like a crown, right, popping up like apples almost. That little like furling or unfurling. It's going to open into flowers, and it might actually. For sure that that is something plants do. I don't know enough about them, although I do want to know more. I'll know more about this plant because my current inquiry into drawing it is curious with what it is. And so I will definitely find out what it is, right? I'll probably title this video something like that. I guess I'm deciding to post it right now. But the immediacy of ink allows me to kind of just go with the marks I've made. I did a lot of drawing with graphite and Contact crayon, where I was like kind of learning how to draw. I was really interested in like a classical realism. But then maybe about a year ago, I got this obsession with um, working faster, and I wanted some way to work faster. And the way that what I had decided on was that I was going to work in ink. And that's where I am currently now. I spent quite a bit of time studying some of my favorite artists who use the medium. Um, I really love the works of Katsuya Terada and Kim Jung-gi, Aro Kopinski. These artists are awesome with what they do, although it's not like the refined academic renderings. There's this quality of maybe life or action or interest in them that really, really captures me. And so that's what I love about them is like maybe the element of storytelling that they provide. And so my goal as an artist is to learn to storytell in a very linear fashion and dramatic fashion. I want to convey like feelings I personally have and tell the stories that I'm personally creating using ink. And, I guess I'll give you a little update to how it's going. Here's what I got so far. I think I want to find a way to interject some of that like beautiful, like ethereal quality of like the academic realist into pen drawings. I know there are people who have done stuff like that, like Zorn, I think, comes to mind. Uh, I love Franklin Booth, and um, yeah, he did some really intense like ink drawings, etchings. Speaking of etchings, there's like gosh, what's his name? He did Frankenstein. Bernie Wrightson. Bernie Wrightson has an awesome style too. Obsessive, it looks like, to the details, and those I admire that. And obviously Frank Frazetta, while not realistic in a sense, the drama is definitely there, and the colors. Oh, the colors are awesome. I love the way they look. And then storytelling, huge storytelling elements. You know, telling all those Mara stories, jungle characters, the women he draws. Like, maybe not telling so much stories of that as he's being provocative, but like still, they're simple and they have this huge impact. And it's very lovely the impact what it does uh, for the viewer. I have a couple of them that are extra nice. Obviously, the Death Dealer, not ink, but same elements, ideas I'm kind of looking for. And what else is there? I think about to kind of terminate where I'm at right now. This is nice. And I feel like I'm doing better than I was even kind of preparing myself for. Often the case. Often the case, although I do have huge blunders. This is Sketchbook. These awesome little learning um, decisions. Those decisions are something that I don't really have to worry about so much. No one's really gonna see it. It's not so much here. But yeah, okay. For now, I think that's good. Kind of just an introduction to me, what I'm hoping to do. Uh, I guess I'll sign these studies, like for dating them purposes and all that. And then I like to do a little bit of writing and cursive specifically. I don't know if I have any in here. Here's something I drew too. But, cursive writing. So I'll probably do some of that right now. What? And then today is the 25th, 26th. Let's see. Looking at the 26th. 10/26. 10/26. Well, here's to hoping that I continue to learn and study, which, no hope there. I will, but just maybe more hope for accountability, you know, and, hoping that someone sees this, someone also feels similar and kind of goes for following, following the path that I'm following, enjoys seeing what I'm seeing, and hope they can get a little bit better with some of the discussions and talking during this stage. Suppose I'll kind of point to the tree I've been drawing, or bush. I'll find out more, but just some thoughts. Thank you.